to deal with that. So in my closing comments, and I got one more speaker to sort of come speak, we talk about thinking about the future. What do you guys really want to be for Douglas County? That's what I need you to take away. And again, we're going to come back a little bit later and sort of reach out to those people who say they want to be on the committee, and we'll reassemble you. But in essence, this is the essence of the presentation. Right now, I'm going to yield to my director of IT. He's going to talk a little bit, pick back and dovetail right on what Chris talked about as it relates to technology. Come on up here, Russ Martin, and give a little flavor on sort of what you're thinking.
Okay, these guys are incredibly elegant when they talk, right? So this is not really my thing. What we're talking about is so unofficial that they don't even give me a slide in the handouts. But we want to share, I want to share something that I've spent quite a bit of time recently looking into. It's something that's going on in different communities and different municipalities around the country. There are examples we can point to here with Dalton, Georgia, around Atlanta, multiple cities and communities around the metro area. But it's something that we haven't really looked at here. I'm not sure why, but I think it's something that it's an idea that needs a voice. Mr. Robinson's talked quite a bit about a voice, being a voice, and I think this is an idea that needs a voice. It can't have a voice until people know it's an idea. So I want to share this idea with you. Blockbuster Polaroid, encyclopedias and payphones. What are those? Old things. Things in the past, right? Being an encyclopedia salesman actually used to be a career, right?
Yes.
There's no need for that anymore. But now we got Netflix, Snapfish, Google, and cell phones. Those are the things of today. And there's actually a really common thread that lets us understand why one went away and why the other one came to fruition. That same common thread is something that we can look at as a municipality, as a community, as a county. And that same thing will and can attract high-tech jobs to the community with much higher paying jobs. Increased competition for our telephone services, our cable services, our internet providers. We can raise per capita GDP in the community, studies have shown. Studies have also shown increase in home values of up to 3.1% by implementing what I'm going to share with you tonight in your community. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a rental owner, this technology will help decrease rental turnover. Using this technology, we can advance public safety and law enforcement in ways that we haven't even considered. I don't know if you know, down in Atlanta, they've got a lot of cameras up downtown now. Most of those cameras are microphone enabled now. Because of those microphones, they can pinpoint a gunshot within a meter immediately. And the technology that we're going to talk about is driving that. We can refine traffic control. A lot of what they're doing in traffic control now is with cameras. That's data, that's information that's got to get passed back and forth to be processed. And also one of the things that, I've got small kids, but they're not terribly small, they're all in school now. But it can help us close the learning gap. It's said that kids with high-speed internet access in their home, 92% of those children use it for schoolwork. So I can't imagine the disadvantage it is for young children who are in less affluent homes who don't have access to the internet. So we're talking about what made these companies go away, what brought these other companies and technologies into the forefront and can potentially provide us some of these benefits that I've talked about, is fiber optic networks and high-speed internet access. There's a couple of concepts going around. It's called the lit city or the gigabit city. And what these communities are doing is they're taking and laying massive networks of fiber optic cable throughout the community. They're making it available in a multitude of methods. Some communities like Dalton, Dalton is now a service provider for cable, internet, for internet, and for telephone. They're the company. They do the billing, they do the customer service, they collect the revenues. Other people are laying this large network and they're offering it up to businesses that already do that. They're offering it up to the Comcast, to the AT&Ts, to the Verizons. And those people are coming in, they're leasing these lines. It's still a revenue opportunity for the community, but you don't have to have the infrastructure of customer service and those types of things. So that's what we're talking about. The other piece is, to that is fiber to the home, right? It's bringing fiber internet, gigabit internet service into the home where you can use it as an individual. There are actually grants available. So we talk about underprivileged children not having access to the internet. There are grants available that will allow you you bring the internet into the home, you provide the service to underprivileged neighborhoods, and you can get grant money to pay that back. So those kind of things are available. Yeah, so to me it's really important that the learning gap piece is really important to me. Again, I come home every day and at least one of my kids are sitting on the computer, and believe it or not, they're not playing a game, right? I mean, they're researching something for a paper, they're trying to do some homework, they get assigned work, and this is where it really gets me is there's work being assigned to my children that's online. I don't even know what the kids who don't have internet access are doing about it, right? I mean, I know a lot of people have it on a mobile phone, but actually having it in your home, what are those kids doing who don't have that? So I think this is an idea, again, that needs a voice of us actually coming out saying we think that we should follow a project like this. It'll support the economic development. He's talking about a technology park. One of the things that stop a technology park is they look at it and go, well, it's great that you've zoned it for us. It's good looking land, but we've got to put so much investment into the infrastructure that we're just going ahead and build where it's already there. So fiber's coming to your home, fiber's coming to Douglasville. Do we want to reap the benefits of the potential revenue of driving it and saying we want it now? We want it soon? Or do we wait until Google or Verizon or AT&T decides that we're big enough, that we're sophisticated enough to have this technology? So that's the question. Are we sophisticated enough? Do we want to drive this process, or do we want to sit back and wait for it? Thank you.
Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the formal part of this meeting. Officially, I'm saying we're done. Now I'll open it up for questions for you guys if you have any thoughts on either this or anything beyond this. But that is the formal part of the SPLOST meeting. Again, fill out that registration card to say that you were informed. Put a little star on it to say that you are interested in being in a committee, or just write committee at the top. We'll collect those and we'll get back to you probably within the next 30 days and begin to assemble those commission meetings to sort of move forward. Any thoughts?
That one.
Yes, go.
Put on my Parkside hat.
Yes.
To whoever ends up on that Citizens Advisory Panel, I don't know about you, but I'd love to have a fire station. You may have been affected like I was, but homeowners insurance skyrocketed because we don't have a fire station. So just whoever ends up on that panel.
It'll also help decrease your, sorry,
Oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had your hand up, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying, piggybacking off of what Chris said, it will also help decrease homeowners insurance. I think because the further away the fire station is from you, the higher your homeowners insurance goes, because they say it's further away.
Very good. Any other concerns from residents? Yeah.
Can I point out, we were promised a fire station in 2002 on the 2002 SPLOST project list. It was never delivered to us. That should have covered Thornton Road area. At the last meeting, the fire chief said that they ran out of funding. I'm concerned about promising SPLOST list and not delivering to us. I don't know what happened to the funding for the Thornton Road fire station, but again, the law says you cannot promise us projects and not deliver those projects. Like, you cannot abandon projects. And so we could have had a fire station in this area. It was not delivered to us, and there's no explanation why. And I'm concerned that anything that's put on the list, that we're over-promising and we're going to run out of money. So I just caution when we go through this process, I caution the Citizens Input Committee, or whatever you're calling it. There was an audit a few years back that said that the citizens are responsible for making emotional and political decisions that affected Boundary Waters, for instance. It went from a $3.5 million facility to an $8 million facility. And I'm just concerned about the emotion that's involved.
And
the question is, why are we allowing citizens to make emotional decisions about what we need versus what we want in this county, and why the officials of this county can't make a wants list about what is prioritized and what we need. We've had 3 SPLOST.
Okay.
Two of them failed.
Sir,
because we put.
Sir, That's enough.
No, it's not
get it.
enough. I want
get
to
it.
explain.
No.
We've had 3
He's not a
SPLOST.
citizen.
2 of them failed. 1 of them passed by 35 votes. 2 of them failed because we put horse and dog parks
We
on
got
these
it.
filled
Thank you, sir. You
projects.
can't hijack the whole meeting. I got
I've
it.
had 2 minutes.
But it's okay.
No,
It's my
I
meeting.
want these people to
James,
know what
these people,
SPLOST is about.
But we got this, James.
No, we
I don't
don't.
need
These
you.
people have never
We
heard
don't
of
need
this.
you here to do that with these citizens.
We do need you.
No,
do need
James.
here. We do-
You're
we do
hijacking
need
a
you
meeting.
here.
You're coming with your propaganda. This
No.
guy's a watchdog.
This ain't propaganda. This
Let me
is
say
not
what I gotta say.
propaganda.
But this is my town hall. This is my meeting. You gotta respect
recognize
the house.
me. You
But it's
recognize
over.
me, sir.
You have a time limit. You had a question. What's the question? You made statements.
Answer my question. Why
No.
are we going to trust
You yell at me
citizens?
one more time, James.
No, you're
James.
raising your voice.
Of course.
You're
Because you
raising
never
your
let nobody
voice.
challenge you in your own
You're
house,
approaching me
James.
and getting in my
Oh,
face.
James, I'm telling you, let it go. Let it
You
go.
back up and go back
No,
over
I'm
there.
fine. I'm coming to
No,
you.
you're not fine. You're trying to provoke here.
No,
I'm
no, we're
trying to
not.
get a point across to these people that
These
SPLOST
people-
can be very dangerous.
We understand that, James, but let the process go.
It's going to go on.
You
It's
trying to
gonna go on.
hijack this thing, guy? Just
No,
this
I'm
was
not
intentional.
hijacking it. I'm
Yeah,
here as
you
a
did.
citizen. I've lived here all my life.
But does that
And
give
I've
you some
watched this
entitlement?
process.
But does
And
that,
I've watched
but does
pro-
that give you entitlement,
I've
James?
watched
Does
projects
that give you
promised to
entitlement?
us that never were delivered.
All right, you finished.
And all I'm saying is,
Okay,
when
James,
when
we got
do
you.
this,
You act like these
how-
people are not intelligent or educated, that they can't understand what you're saying. Let it go. They got it. Let me respond. Let me respond. All right, guys, so here's where this is at. You have to deal with, people who like to show up.
Yeah, those damn citizens show up and want to have input into your
but you're not
meetings.
one of what's important here, this is important to you guys. This was for you, right? This was Parkside and Sweetwater residents to hear your voice.
That's not how it was advertised, sir. It was
Let me-
open to the public. It
We didn't
invited
say it
everyone to
wasn't,
attend the
but
meetings.
I get to run how I want to do it. Each commission district can run it their way. Thank you. All right, so this meeting was for you guys, right, to hear your input. Right, this is key. Right, this is not about ideology. That's my opening comment. It's you're educated enough to figure out what is important based on your own experience. My job is to do 2 things: to check and balance. I'm the one that represents you. I'm not the administration. Okay? I don't disavow what happened in 2002. What shoulda, coulda, woulda, it's not my issue. I don't have to pick that up. I came in 08, 09. And I've given straight accountability of what has happened. During my watch, in 2009, 2010, when we delivered a $100 million project on time and on budget, I was the hawk of it. Right? Let's keep this real. Right? I can't not go back into the history books and all of those things. Not my issue. All I know is that right now you're intelligent because you sent me and we're peers. You are capable of making decisions saying, okay, you know what, Commissioner Robinson, we get it. Let's experience the process before we dictate it. Now I'm saying you're capable of doing this because you sent me and says, okay, guys, y'all got this. Look at the list. Here's the dollar amounts, and we'll work through the process. Okay? I cannot help that projects get sidetracked. It happens in government. Things happen. Can't worry about that. We got to move forward. Right? We got to move forward. But what's important for y'all to understand is that District 2 is special. Right? It's special. I respect you guys. You respect me. You need me to advocate for you no matter if you're a libertarian, Republican, whatever the case may be, I'll advocate for you. If you got a cemetery in your backyard, I'll advocate for you. Whatever it is, you hate the animal shelter across from your house, I'll advocate for you. You want somebody to stop these 1 million square foot buildings, I'll advocate for you. Right? Because I'm listening. You're capable of speaking on your own, and you're more than capable of looking at a list of things that you want. Right? We get that there's always somebody that's concerned about government. Is there some, you look at it and, everybody knows I'm not running no more after this last term. Because again, this thing is straight up, it's off the chain. Everything you think about government is like, Lord, let me get out of here. Like I came in, I'm going out. No, let's keep this real. Right? I mean, the way money, he brings up the point. He knows I understand. Yes, you got to challenge this thing. It ain't pure. It's not. But you need somebody to say, look, again, all I know, be faithful of your money, right? Tell me what your priorities are. I'll go structure for you. We get in, we get out. Right? All I got is one data point, a jail to say that we took on a big project and we delivered it. All I've got is, a second thing is that I've shown a budget that has improved every year that I've been on the finance committee. I got a AA credit rating. I'm sitting on north of 20 million in cash reserve, right? I only have 1 month that I can float this thing. All I can speak to is what I have done for you, right? All I've done recently is sort of advocate for economic development. Restructure our development authority. Our job as a legislator is to do two things. We either enable or we prohibit, right? My job is to get in there and say, okay, my job is to set this atmosphere, to enable transportation, to advocate for buses that you guys said, to advocate for resurfacing, right? Right? So all you got to do, you trusted me enough to say, look, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all those 1,000 people that work for the county administrator. I work for you, right? And so I've got to be accountable for right here at this moment that says, I got it. I've got to be that guy that has to go stand up against other people and so forth. Yeah, got to be that guy. Got to be that guy. So if I find something I think that has sort of got issues, I'll address it. But in the meantime, the president spends trillions, governors spend billions, and we spend millions. And we're going to spend it whether you can put it or not. It is the churn that makes society go, especially in America. Let's not confuse what this is. This is not an either or. We don't do government or we will do government. Government's going to go on. But guys, there's still some good in it, that there are people who really want to do this the right way. You're smart enough to discern the difference. You can look at two people side by side and say, I ain't feeling that person. I'm talking to my residents. Y'all know what y'all looking at. Like, nah, I ain't feeling that person. Something about that person. You know how to discern, right? So my job here is to sort of sit here, get to the point, get in and get out. This is the very first time we've ever done this, which we're actually asking you for input. I'll challenge anybody that says that you guys are incompetent, uneducated, and cannot make a decision without somebody sitting here holding your hand. Not going to happen on my watch. Not in my community. Not in my district. You're more than capable. Right? You're more than capable. So, that being said, any more thoughts? Yeah, I got two. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Commissioner, I just have a question I think James brought up the point that there's been 3 SPLOSTs and 2 of them have failed. Why aren't we just doing a permanent increase? It sounds like every 5 years, in 5 years, there'll be more projects. I'm a new resident here. Why don't we just, would it not pass or
Permanent SPLOST?
Yeah, just a permanent.
We're limited by what the General Assembly tells us. And
okay.
He brings a good point, and this is important, a little history. There's 2 structures, right? There's the feds, and then you've got states, right, who are sovereign, right? They go hand in hand. We are branch offices of the state. We're not really separate. We're branch offices, okay? Local government is branch offices of the state. So it's whatever they tell us. Right now, our authority only allows us to do 5 or 6 year decimals so we can tax somebody. It can't be permanent at this point. If you want to get somebody who wants to be a state senator, state rep, take that up to the Hill, handle it.
Gotcha.
But you bring up a good point. All I'm going with is the tools that I currently have, right? Which is, okay, all I know is we at the local level, $2.5 million, trying to 199 square miles, I don't know how many center line miles, it ain't enough. Without a local option sales tax, or without a SPLOST on top of that, we couldn't do it. And you don't want it to be on the backs. But here's the last point about the importance of a SPLOST, is that if property owners are carrying the primary burden, remember we have a lot of visitors. We have a mall, right? So you have a lot of visitors, and I don't know what the math is, somewhere between 40 and 60% of people of our sales tax are people who visit us. Well, they need to share that they're tearing up my rolls, coming up in my mall and rolling back up out of here, right? Those trucks that are passing through and stopping off, they need to contribute. So that's the other reason, is that when you have visitors here, they're also paying to our digest through this. So we can't forsake that either. So it's like right now, I'm not going to fight the fight whether or not I'm going to use this tool or not. I'm going to use it and put it forth for the public. It is a proper tool to use, but we're gonna work this out, guys. I mean, I get there may be some cynicism, there may be some spirits that they come from a different place, a different fire. It's okay. We coexist, right? All I know is that right now, you said you want a better life, right? You sent me here to solve some complex problems, and I promise you, look, I got this. I'll figure out economic development. I'll figure out the financials. I'll figure out the transportation. And that's all I promised to do for you guys. The bigger picture and sort of the, what government is and is not, okay, turn on C-SPAN or something and y'all, it's a bigger picture, right? Playing that out here locally is like, look, I live with y'all. Y'all just want something other than Oz Pizza. You just want a different menu. I mean, I get it, right? I mean, I'm trying to solve local problems. Some of the broader ideology things, yeah, okay, another day, another time. But anything else? I know it's...